Oh. And this is where we kick off. Welcome, boys, girls, ladies, and gentlemen. Logistical Nightmare Racing proudly bringing you our actual first season championship. This is Laguna Seca GT3 series. Every alternating Tuesday nights. And this evening we're going to kick off with Laguna Seca. Like I said, in GT3's fashionable class, grid is practically packed. This is probably one of the biggest grids I have ever commentated, so it's going to be epic fun for me to sit down, watch, keep everyone entertained, and I hope you boys and girls love it. Ladies, gentlemen, we are proudly hosted a lovely 60-minute sprint race, mandatory pit stop requirements, a hot Laguna Seca. It doesn't look that hot, to be fair. 17 degrees on the green track. These boys are not gonna love it at all. 10 minutes of qualifying that is on the cards here, so everyone trying to get grips of what is gonna happen. I don't expect low 20s to be on the cards here, considering that we have a very green, slippery track. This is not optimal at all, and let's hope and see we can get and see some optimal things here. So as the season kicked off not so long ago, I mean, from an ATC point of view, we all got gifted this fantastic BMW M4 GT3 car, and by all means there's a few of them on the grid, but I am probably very confident that there was a lot more in the registrations prior to us starting the race, based on the update that was launched this afternoon, nerving such a beautiful car. I mean, boys and girls, on the comment section, give me a shout, man. Let me know, what do you think of this update where we nerfed the BMW? Mr. Hilton. Hilton. Am I saying that right? Hilton's Simracing. I hope I pronounced your name right. Welcome, man. Good evening to you too. Thanks for saying hi. Again, anyone that wants to bring a bit of chatter on the table, please feel free. I am not a commentator by nature. Therefore, I do what I do because I love doing what I do. And I'm looking at these lovely BMW livery from Alan Patterson, racing for PWSR. Have to admit that did get a bit of a facelift. I mean, for those that have watched some racing for the South African boys quite a bit in a while, PWSR boys have predominantly been very yellow from a custom livery point of view, and I gotta admit, I honestly love that shaded grey, white polish kind of thing with a black tint at the back and the yellow stripe on that BM. That looks beautiful. And again, while we're on Alan Patterson, I'll just give him a shout out, man. This man does do liveries for ACC. I don't know if I can publicly announced that, but I think he will be willing to help you, of course, at a fee. These things aren't free, and what he does there is phenomenally beautiful. And then simultaneously, I do believe the PWSR boys also do button boxes locally for South Africa, so that's some good info. Okay, gotta look at these boys. Give you all a heads up where we stand at the standings. The grid is massive, like this is phenomenally massive. Top 10 Oaks at the stage would be Ryan Berrington Smith, followed by Sean Stradon, Paul Fenter, Raymond Mooney, Sean Skutter, Etienne Kleb, Kevin Barber, Alan Patterson, Cameron Brake, and then of course Neil Greening. All of these individuals doing very low 23s at the moment, and of course we sort of see that reflection onto the racetrack purely because of the track conditions. It is just not that perfect. If this was an optimal track, I am sure we would have seen something in the range of a low 20, potentially 21s. 2 seconds off the pace purely because of a green track doesn't make it easy for these guys, as lots of them go back into the pits, retake it. 2 minutes left of qualifying. Who will get that top 10 spot? The grid is full, entertainment is vast, lots of new guys on the grid as well. Looking at Mr. Smith at this moment, Skutter in a Lexus. Interesting choice though for this season. I do believe that is a car that's not being looked at. And look at that, Aston V12 by Raymond Mooney, currently in 3rd position. Somehow suspect that is a self-made livery. Rumor has it that that is the face of Mr. Rooney. Beautiful view there, going on top. I'm trying to multitask at this moment. Raymond Mooney still in 3rd position, and by the surprise of me, I'm fairly shocked. That is an Aston V12, one of the oldest Astons in Laguna Seca. Top 3 for him, with a smashing time at this moment of a 1:23.6. Strong Tradom in the pitch. Ooh, flashing the Logistical Nightmare livery there on a Beamer, currently in 2nd place. I don't think he's going to go out to do another lap, so the best he could have done is a 1:23.1. No one really breaking the benchmark within the 23s, and I do blame the track conditions for this. The Hilton, you reckon the BMW is still strong even after the nerve? I haven't tested it yet, didn't have a lot of time to test it myself. I am running the BMW myself personally this season, on a couple of series. I think I've got it on Simracing South Africa, which I pleasantly joined this year. Again, first time I'm going to race there. I don't think I'm going to make Race Face, and again, for the guys from Race Face who are at Race Face, they are a different South African community league as well, so more than welcome to join them. They predominantly do good races on Thursday nights. Simrace SA also covers everything from ACC to AC itself. Again, very nice to join them. South African community is working together. Probably just me promoting everyone else. You know what? I love it that much. So as we in the final few minutes, I would say, of qualifying, That is Mr. Barber that attempted to try and beat his time. Didn't do much better than 5th position for him for a mid to high 123s. Drops him down to 6th place though. Only a few individuals on track at this stage. I have to go and look. That would be Mr. Dupree in his Bentley coming in. Can he better it? Yes, one position up, 26 for him. Smackdown grid as it stands. See if we could look at the timetable. Of course, I would now have to play around with a couple of things. Nothing really works when I want it to work. There we go. Ha! Timetables for the boys. Did get a couple of 121s there. Ryan Perrington Smith, top of the grid, in 1st position with a Porsche. Then of course we have S. Strydom in a BMW M4 GT3, followed by Sean Schultz in 2nd place. Raymond Mooney in 4th. Paul Venter in 5th. Mr. Barber in 6th, Etienne Kleb in 7th, Hoyser in 8th, Drake in 9th, and Alan Patterson in 10th. To be fair, that is quite a challenging top 10. Nonetheless, still have plenty of racing in the backlog. We have muchos crutches. Lots of guys on the grid tonight. I don't think I've ever commentated on a grid where we have 31 people on Laguna Seca. I think it's going to be a madhouse. I believe it's going to be quite tricky for these boys to get to grips. So don't run away. Let's quickly run this fantastic ad and then I'll see you all not long from now. There we go, back into the mix. This is the boys kicking off their warm-up lap before the race starts. And again, big ups and big thanks to our Logistical Nightmare Patreon guys. We just noted down them. Again, their kind contributions to the community does help us achieve a bit more than what we can. Helps us do all the types of things like live broadcasting, hosting events, and then of course getting the right equipment, needs and enthusiasms to run good racing. So on the chat, who's who and who do we shout for? I see Hilton, you are very heavy on the chat, man. It's good to see someone chat so much. So you going like Alvin, Sean, Skitter. I'm guessing a bit of EKZ is in there. Again, EKZ. I don't know if they're still alive. Big shout out to them as well. I'm shouting out to everyone. Gotta admit, this is going to be intense. The normal me would sit back, close my eyes, hope for the best, because it's gonna get very tough at the start of this race. Green light, it's a go. Heading off into the lead is Bennington Smith, keeping it tight on the inside. Round the outside is Sean Stradom. Can he keep it real? Tries to do an in-cut. That is a move at the beginning of the race. What an inside cut. Can he keep it into it? No, he doesn't. Loses track position again. Reckons he can keep it on the straight and narrow. Bit of a twitchy BMW there, and I think it's probably because of the rear wheel tire being that cold. Top 4 boys have gone out. Top 5 boys closely packed to one another. Idealistically, I don't see any or lots of incidents. I can probably record it. There is a few out there. Plenty of cars at the back of the pack made a bit of contact with each other. However, it doesn't look that cynical to me. If I can count it, probably about 5 to 10 taps. Ooh, another contact there. Very accidental. Nonetheless, the boys are going to keep on racing because, again, it's all about penalties, managing it. And that BMW by Alan Patterson just doesn't seem that very settled. I think he tried to pause a few seconds just to settle his nerves. All about maintaining. Oh, more contact there at the back of the pack. Individuals making severe incidents, and the incident list is just backing up. Well, let's hope this gets better as the race continues. Looks like I got a bit of a spammer here. Glad you jumped on to see the start. Yeah, well, the start was a bit hectic. It always gets hectic. Hope my sound is okay. Again, anyone on the stream, listening to the stream, just let me know if the sounds are okay. I often struggle to get the balance on the right side of it, especially coming from my voice mic and of course the ACC sounds. Ooh. Currently looking at Quinton, he just made a couple of positions over there. Alan Patterson definitely struggling with that BMW this evening. Some other odd reason it is not sitting well with him. Track has become faster. Big battle here in 10th, 11th and 9th position as Greening is being chased down by Desmond Pullen there in the Porsche, and he's hunting down Etienne Kleb in the BMW. Who's ahead of him is also Paul Venter, who's running side by side with Alan Patterson. More side-by-side action there by Etienne Kleb and Paul Venter. That is quite tricky. 2 cars side-by-side through that corner. Probably not the best ideal. Greening tries to capitalize on it. Goes on the wider end of it. Paul stays in touch. Now he's got 2 individuals chasing him down. Dylan Pullen and Greening. Paul in a lot of trouble over there with his banana boat Bentley. probably not a very happy chappy because he was battling that BMWs in the first couple of corners at Laguna Seca. Lost track position because he went wide. And again, side by side into two of those corners, not the wisest choice, but then we want to win. You want to win. Everyone wants to win a race. Can't just give up a position, can we? Sarge on the stream. Hey Sarge, how are you doing, man? I'll catch you boys tomorrow. Wednesday nights, LNR AC Console Series also kicking off tomorrow night. First season, first race of 2020. And then of course, Gran Turismo Sport on console. This week the boys are doing seeding. Get your registrations out there. Subsequently sponsored by Zappa. Seeding is happening this week. So don't be shy. Logistical Nightmare Racing, we accommodate both console and PC. Do our best to give you the best coverage we can of local/international sim racing on two platforms, ACC and GT Sport. Back to the racing. Quickest guy on track at the moment is Turismo. He is currently in third position, so he has lost a position. Currently watching Mr. Smith in 14th. Another Porsche off the track there. Quinton looks very good. I think it's Quinton. I could be wrong. Let me just get that info. Yeah, Quinton Smith. Sorry. In his Ferrari. Not a lot of Ferraris on the track this season. Beautiful livery though. Again, not just do we do racing, we kind of like the whole concept of supporting custom liveries, and with these new updates of ACC, one can run it now, so it's so much nicer looking at these fantastic designs individuals can do. I think his teammate Quinton is right there behind him, Mr. I might pronounce that very wrong, but currently checking out Kyle van der Bar. Back to sim racing. It's been a while since Kyle has grabbed his sim racing rig and started racing. Of course, the man takes on the BMW. He is chasing down Quinton Smith, yet Jens van Oevelen is chasing him down. Big battle here in mid-grid, mid-back positions. Does look like there is plenty of action where we are. Everywhere else on the track fairly split up. From a position point of view, heading off to the leader, Barrington Smith in the Porsche, still leading, and he's got a bit of a buffer between himself, being hunted down there by Raymond Mooning with his V12 Aston. Still big battles here in the mid-back. Currently watching Lee Bullion in his BMW, representing the LNR livery communities. Chasing down a Porsche, but being chased down by a Mercedes-Benz. Under severe pressure. That BMW just sounds beautiful. I have to go quiet the minute I get into that cockpit view. Don't know what you all think. Best sounding car of ACC. Let's hear your votes and voices. Another individual going off track, but then coming back again. Raymond Mooning being chased down by Stradom. Stradom seems to be catching up slowly, and he's being hunted down by Skitter in fourth. Top four boys in close proximity to one another. Corner one looking good. Paul Fainter hunting down Alan Patterson again in the BMW. He has lost a position to Etienne Kleb though. Don't think Alan has settled well with this BMW. Ooh, Paul looking there on the inside. Would have been a very dangerous move if he did stick his nose in there. Bentley looking very more comfortable than what the BM is. Alan going very defensive. Takes the narrow line. That gives a better exit to Paul. Paul gives it on the rundown on the left-hand side. Are they going to go too wide here? No. Paul gives it up. Thinks it's not wise. Leaves space for Alan. Alan sticks it through. Fastest guy on track at the moment is Ryan Beddington Smith, leader of the race, with a 1:22.7. Gotta admit, that's phenomenally quick. Mr. Masingo in his Porsche, hunted down by a BMW Shawl. Does he go defensive? No, sort of leaves the door open. Then again, the BMW is not that much within range. Ooh, Mercedes there by Cameron Drake looks a bit damaged. Fender bender it seems. Might be struggling significantly. So rundown on the race conditions today. It's a 1 hour race. Mandatory pit stop tire changes needed. These boys are probably going to start quitting within the next 8 minutes or so. That is when the time for the pit stops will open up. At this moment, no pit window has opened up as of yet. If you do bend it up, you can go and fix your car, but you're gonna go and have to pit again, so this is gonna be tricky. Race is still on. Neil Greening, currently in 12th, being hunted down by Quentin Smith. Aston versus Ferrari. Sounds like I've had a couple of booze cruises tonight. Mr. Galen, how are you, sir? Again, who else is on the chat? PWSR, Anthony Wilson, Galen, Hilton. Oh, Hilton talking about Division 1 on the chat. Hilton, I am confident that what you are referencing to is Simrace SA. I myself need to go and put some lap downs down. So I think this is my, again, for those that haven't joined the chat yet, my first season at Simrace SA. Gonna be epic fun. Gonna try and do the best I can, but joining the boys on that side of the world. And for anyone that does want to know, you can find them on Discord. Of course, I am here to try and promote Logistical Nightmare Racing, because we are both South African and international community, but simultaneously we have other communities in South Africa which we love to race with and support. So don't be shy, go to them. I'm fairly sure everyone is with them. Those are big communities within the sim racing leagues. Everyone knows them. So good to see you boys everywhere else. Back into the racing. Looking at Jacques Vermeulen with his BMW, he looks very settled over there. 18th position. To be fair, I think from experience he's probably a lot faster than what he should be, but this is a new car for him this season. Mr. Dupree there in 27th. Again, like I said, massively big grid this evening. Battle still continuing with Jansen van Oevelen, Kel van der Berg, and Quinton Smith. Quinton has dropped a couple of places. I do recall that he was chasing down Neil Greening who was in 12th position. He now sits behind his teammate there. Again, the only two Ferraris on track at the moment. Not one of my favorite cars though. It's probably my driving style or my driving techniques towards the Ferrari, but it's either it doesn't love curbs or I don't like curbs. One of the two, but we just don't see eye to eye. Kalen shouting out there for Kyle. Yes, Kyle is doing well. Kel van der Berg, currently in 13th position. I briefly spoke about him a while back. Back into Simracing again. Etienne Kleb versus Paul Venter. Paul Venter ranking up the positions as he goes along. Being very comfortable in his Bentley. Of course, most of the individuals on track trying out the BMW potentially loved it before the update this evening. I am fairly confident there will be lots to say after this race about the BMW. A car that dominated most tracks during off-season at the launch of this individualized car. Beautiful though. But I strongly believe that it's going to tumble down the ranks the more races there are during 2022. Now, hey Ethan. Sorry, went a bit silent there for a moment. Someone needed a bit of admin support there. Again, I was sort of wondering when are we going to kick off with some penalties here based on all the incidents that was recorded. We are big promoters of live stewarding. But then again, my humble mistake is I didn't give any passwords out to the individuals that does this. I automatically assumed they would all have the details, but then again, as it is, the assumption is the mother of all. Okay, back to the racing. Robin van der Merwe there in a very, very pink McLaren. R van der Merwe. Wait, is this Robin? This is Robin. In a pink SOP livery McLaren. Now that is very interesting. Probably grabbed off someone else, but looking at that color scheme from a pink side of it, that is an unusual color choice. Beautiful though. pit stops will be open fairly shortly. Now again, I do think we're going to kick off with a couple of penalties anytime soon. Back to Van der Haar. Kyle in the pit stops. Oh, plenty of action here in the front row grid. Raymond Mooney battling it out with Sean Stratham. Ooh, just missed that as the screen moved over to Neil Greening. Let's see if I can go back and capture that a bit. Battle subsequently very close there. Raymond Mooney and his, I'm gonna call it the one-man face livery. Sure. Plenty of accidents this evening between individuals making contact with one another. Looking at Raymond being chased down here by Sean Stratham. Top three boys in serious battle, and then of course we've got Niall Bullion versus Quentin Smith. Now Quentin has been doing very well this evening. That way go. Ooh. That's probably not a good view. Sorry about that. Looking at the back of A. Wilson. And then of course now that does look like the old Bentley there for me. And again, trying to give everyone at least the most amount of screen time we can possibly have. It's not always that difficult. Well, not always that easy. And for anyone on stream, if there's anyone specifically you want me to go to or anything specifically you are seeing, let me know. I will try and capture that as best as I can. Currently, at this moment, flicking through the grid, looking for places where the closest battles are. And there are a few on track based on the number of sim racers that we have here this evening. Track started off with about 30 individuals. We are down to 29. Potential couple of disconnects here and there. Lots of individuals losing phenomenal positions, but then there are those that have gained quite a bit. So currently looking at Quentin Smith, He has made up 8 positions since the start of the race, which is phenomenally good, but he is being chased down by Mr. Bullion, who subsequently has made 18 positions from where he started, which is massive. I mean, if you count all that together, that kind of means that Nail started at the back of the pack. Potentially could not have done a qualifying lap. Now, for him to be in 12th position at this moment, that is a phenomenal drive. Again, top gainer at the moment is Nail Bullion. Closest individual to him that has gained a lot of places is Gary van der Haar, who's currently in 16th place. Looking at Kevin with his Bentley, front to rear view. Etienne Kleb there with his BMW. Again, he is moving past back markers at the moment. Plenty of respect being shown on the grid itself. Guys moving away for the front runners. This is Laguna Seca, so we did expect and anticipate individuals lapping one another. Hilton going, interesting that they apparently nerfed the McLaren, as I can see Kleb got a massive, got passed by Boyce. Yeah, Kleb seemed to have regained that back again. Boyce is behind him. Wilson is in 8th. People have pitted so far, so not a lot though. Most of the front runners haven't pitted yet. Still got 12 minutes of pit window time frame open. Lots of these guys running it as far as they can. Looking at Neil. Definitely the sound of an Aston. Got a Merc there behind him. Assetto in his Porsche. Oh. No. Slightly being hunted down by Wilfred Robson, but he's got a good gap between himself and Wilfred. Plenty of time ahead of him, trying to chase down Jacques Vermeulen in the BMW, who of course is now coming down the pit straight line. So you can calculate that gap in between these two individuals at the present moment. Lots of work for Smith to do there. In the pit comes Charles Stein with his Bentley. Plenty of individuals in the pits. We've got Scutter, drive through for Scutter. That could be track position. A bit of contact there, it seems, between Dave Young and I don't know who that was. Mr. Dave and his Mercedes-Benz, currently the fastest Mercedes on track at the moment. He's got Jacques Vermeulen ahead of him, so Jacques going to get all the blue flag being waved to him. Now that does depend with that contact between Dave and whoever had contact. What does occur there? Dave hunting down in the pits. So everyone who hasn't made a pit stop is probably going to come into it again, and we all know these days the pit stop is very tricky. Ooh.
Halfway mark, still a long way to go.
Kel van der Berg got disqualified. I am not so sure what happened there. Mr. Holzhausen in a BMW. Ooh, missing a near incident there coming out the final corner. Not 100% sure how he did that. But he also is trying to find his grips with this BMW. And again, everyone that kind of practiced with the BMW over the last few weeks has got to find a new groove, because it's not going to be easy. He's got a Bentley behind him, but I don't think that is for position though. Masergo driving on his own here. He's got the race leader ahead of him, Mr. Barrington Smith there in first place. Masergo in 9th. Ooh, stop, go 30 seconds, stop, go 30 seconds. That to me all screams pit speed. Speeding in the pit lanes. Give it a bit of a break. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
A bit difficult, Sharks. There's a few people that, when I was about to issue penalties to them, left, so it's a little bit tricky at the moment.
We'll log it.
I have.
Away.
Bye.
Yeah, catching up there with the race director. Finding out if all is well with the penalty system, and it does seem like it's being dished out all over the show, so boys are getting their punishments. Yet some individuals have decided to leave the server, though it makes it difficult for people to issue penalties. Strydom and Mooney battling it out as we stand. Now this is probably the closest we've seen these two boys. Ooh, Sean taking a hard dive on the inside, makes the pass. Rooney did try and cut that off, but wasn't able to do so. Why do I keep on calling him Rooney when it is Mooney? Back to Drake. I'm going to take this over because there is definitely battles going on here. Radon building up a bit of a gap over there between himself and Mooney. Contact again between Wilson and Fenter, as I can see on the streams. Maseku is in the pit. Ryan Barrington's pit. Smith is in the pit. Etienne Klep has not yet pitted. Sean takes a big dive on the inside. That is a car that he passes. Looking fancy with that BMW. He is being hunted down by Mooney. Again, this battle is not over. Started at the beginning of the race. Sean Stradom did qualify in second. Lost a few grid positions. Had to recover. Does seem like he did. Potentially it looks like he's a bit faster than what he was initially. But again, we are talking about a BMW GT3 M4 versus a V12 Aston Martin. Like, that car is from the donkey ages, challenging a 2022 BMW. Phenomenal drive by that man, doing it with such a car. Imagine him in a proper race car. Back to Quentin. He's got a BMW ahead of him, which is not for position. Potentially one of the leaders, because I'm not seeing any blue flags being waved anywhere. So Quentin trying to make a passing move onto this individual. BMW goes very wide. That will give him the rundown down the straight. It's all about speed and momentum. Is that Ferrari much quicker than the BM? Yes, it is. Bit hesitant there from a passing point of view, but nonetheless. Ooh, contact there between individuals, and again, that's back marker contact. Mooney is not going to be happy because he lost a bit of positions there. Now he's got this whole Ferrari ahead of him, which I would believe would get the blue flag. No, that does look like it's for position. No, it's not. Oh. That felt odd. David Young, or Dave Young, in the fastest or leading Mercedes-Benz car 129 into the first corner. 23 minutes of racing left. Oh, people getting lots of drive-through penalties. That seems like our race director is aggressive this evening. Of course, this is for position. Right ahead of David is Neil Greening. Probably one of the closest battles we have on track, with the exception of the further back markers there between Scooter and Bullion. Looking at Kevin Barber in his Bentley, running in 4th position. He's trying to chase down a Mooney. Got a good 6 to 7 seconds of a gap to make up. I don't think that's going to be very easily, considering the amount of traffic on the track tonight. Again, 30 drivers at Laguna Seca. It's going to be a busy track. Strangely low. I do love this track. I don't know who else would agree with me. Like, seriously. PWSR, who is talking here? That would be myself. Our normal commentator and streamer is not here. He's busy moving house at the present moment. I think a lot of individuals do miss him. He's got a good voice for the channel chat. I am not a streaming commentator by nature, but I do try and entertain everyone else. Skitter and Bullion. Ooh, big dive there by Skitter with his Lexus into corner 1. Bullion going defensive. Not going to give that position up very quickly though. Hi Tristan. Long time no see, man. Welcome back. Eleanor, Tuesday Night Racing. You're on the stream. Believed to be the #1 first champion of our first PC season. You haven't come back to defend it though. Good to see you on the chat, man. Thanks for the support. Yeah, it's good to see the season kicking off again. It does. It has kicked off with a bang though. Big amount of people signed up. So I'm expecting a lot of excitement this season. That is, if we can keep the momentum up and get the positive vibes out there. I think we started off with a tough one this evening. Laguna Seca, round 1, race 1. After everyone has gone and done their whole Christmas break, New Year's party. Elbows needs lots of greasing. Knees will be hurt. Oh, that is the leader nearly being tagged there by a Ferrari. Barry seems to be very dominating here at the moment. Eleanor Panda on the chat, got it. I don't know what happened, man. You gotta tell me that afterwards. Gotta be honest, does look like this race brought a lot of action this evening. Plenty of fender benders, lots of individual guys that are gonna have a say on the outcome of their race. I think those that have kept their nose clean, stayed out of trouble, or managed to stay out of trouble, would gain a lot this evening. I don't think that will be very possible though, because one minor mistake here can cause so bad incidents. Top 3 boys is still straight on. Berry's of course in first place, currently looking at the man, leading by example. Wilson in a McLaren there in 18th position. He is trying to chase down Cameron Drake in 17th. Jacques Vermeulen made a better positions up. Let's have a look and see where and how much they've made up though. Still the biggest gainer. The biggest gainer on as it stands is now Jacques Vermeulen. He has made up 18th positions from where he started. Then of course the individual closer to him from a position gain point of view is Charles Stein, currently running in 9th place. Of course Jacques needs to chase him down. The deficit between these two individuals from a racing standpoint is about 2 seconds. So again, Charles Stein in the Bentley, not far from Jacques. He does have a Porsche in between him. Now of course that is the leader of the race. Subsequently to that, he is being hunted down by a Ferrari. Mr. Jens van Oevelen. And please forgive me if I pronounce all of that absolutely wrong. I am born South African, so my dialect is Afrikaans. Neil Greening in 7th. Now he's being chased down by Dave Young in the Mercedes right behind him. As we can see, the leader of the race coming down the pit straight. He has subsequently passed Charles Stein, who is being hunted down by Jacques Vermeulen. And in the background, all I can hear is that Aston V12 engine. A definite screamer on the track. Thanks, Tristan. Catching up on the chats, man. Good to see you wear the prideness, man. Your first season you won, though, so that was a good one. The first one we kicked off and you took it by storm. Great race, man. Consistency got you the championship over there. Again, the question stands is who's going to take it this season? So far, Berries, being the dominant individual from race start in a Porsche, has definitely shown where the benchmark is this season. Currently leading by about 11 seconds to second place Sean Stradom, who is being hunted down by Raymond Mooney in the Aston Martin V12. Currently looking at Brendan Holtzhausen. New guy to LNR. I don't believe he's ever raced in a season here by us, so good to see some new names here. Do love it though, as this battle continues. Not getting anywhere closer. Cameron Drake. This is for position. No, it's not. Sorry, my apologies. Cameron Drake is trying to catch that McLaren ahead of him, which is Mr. Boysa. Got a bit of work to do though. Mercedes not the favorable car these days in ACC. I think when they launched the whole Evo series it was actually quite good. Couple of incidents everywhere else. Fastest lap on the clock again, Ryan Berrington Smith there with a 122.45. Epic! That is quick. Couple of incidents, we've got Skitter, Bullion, and I don't know who else. Just saw it recorded on the telemetries there. Not ideal circumstances and conditions. Back to Paul Fenter in his Bentley. Cameron Drake. Just as we missed the action, Neil Greening, who was battling with Dave Young not so long ago. Unsure what has happened there, but it does seem like he has kissed the wall prior to the entry of the final corner. That's gonna bring a bit of damage to that Aston Martin, whether that is bad aerodynamics on him. How much time will he lose? What type of buffer does he have between himself and the car behind him? Currently, as it stands, 18 seconds. And again, that is Jens and Jacques Vermeulen that might chase him down. Now he is trying to regain position back from Paul Venter, which I doubt it's going to happen. Doesn't seem like Paul had done anything wrong on his race this evening. Solid all the way through. 11 minutes remaining. I think that Bentley is definitely in a better shape than what this Aston is. Though looking at the times, it doesn't seem like he was that badly affected. Back to Brandon Holtzhausen. Again, this is just a couple of back markers that needs to be passed. Or he is passing a few front runners. Good battle going on here between Cameron Drake, hardest Boyser. Charles Stein going slow there. That is of course opening up the gap for Kevin Barber, currently in 4th position. Plenty of guys got to work through all the back markers. Ain't easy. And again, you sort of lose all your momentum. Ooh, big curb jump there on the Bentley. Looking at Etienne Kleb. I'm trying to look at what is those words on the BMW. It's definitely an interesting livery, I have to admit. I gotta get someone to tell me, otherwise I need to go open up files to see if I can zoom in and read it. But in all essence, that is a interesting design. Oh, McLaren making a big mistake there, coming into the corkscrew. That will most certainly unsettle him. Gleb passing more back markers. Back to Quinton. Seems like Quinton's the favorite for the evening on the stream. Again, not that many Ferraris out there, so we gotta showcase these other cars just to give people the view and overview that there is more than just one car on track. Is there still space for the season? I would believe there is. However, I do believe that we've made it a closed entry season, so individuals would have had to register before the season kicked off. I'll be honest about you, I am not confident or 100% certain that I can open it up for other individuals to sign up. Even if I can, there is only 3 positions open. So let me have a quick look and see if there's anything I can do. Again, it all causes just a bit of administration is what I call it. Now, based on what I can see, you are free to join, Mr. Hilton. Again, registration's still open. This is round 1, race 1, so had a double check there on our website, simracing.gp. You're more than welcome to come and join. As I said, there's only like 3 spots left and open. I don't think I'm going to expand more than 1 server at the moment. However, I'm probably opting to go 2. Just to see if I can even it out in between guys, get the lower end splits to do their own races and so forth. Because I somehow believe 40 guys on the grid, even myself, that's a lot to handle, irrespective of what track you are. This is the first race of the season, so potentially opting to split it into 2 different pools or series. We'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll learn from it this season and then do that the next one. I do love the fact that we've grown by probably 150% from last season, so it's a good growth. It's plenty of guys on track, lots of new oaks though. It's going to take time for everyone to get used to one another, but then again, I'm open to anyone. We're here to do good racing, try and broadcast great racing, and for everyone to have fun. 5 minutes on the clock, that's enough about me. Or us. Maybe not. Back to the lead back, Paul Venter, doing phenomenally well. Again, man in a banana boat. Has lost 2 positions from where he started at the beginning of the race. So Paul Venter qualified first. That is an incident there between Robin. Again, McLaren and someone made contact. They didn't see the full thing. Got a glimpse of it. See where we are from a timetables point of view. Still the individuals battling it out there. Robin Barrington Smith leading by Raymond Mooney in second, Stradom in third, and we've got Barber in fourth, Kleb in fifth, De Young in sixth, Venter in seventh, Greening in ninth, Overland in ninth, and Vermeulen in 10th. Final few minutes of the race, Mooney in second with that astonishing Aston Martin. Gotta hear the background story of this livery. Aston Martin does sound good and has had a good race. Paul Venter there in P7. And looking at the grid back. Robin van der Merwe making a huge mistake there, just behind the race leader, Brian Barrington Smith. 2 minutes to go for him to round up his potential first victory of the race on our first season in 2022 at Logistical Nightmare Racing. And again, if anyone needs any info or information, you can find us on all social media platforms, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, all our details are in our Discord channel. That's where we meet and greet everyone, have open, friendly discussions, and then talk about where the race is and what's going to happen here and there. Simultaneously, we don't just do PC races. Tuesday nights is predominantly our 1 hour PC race. On Wednesday nights we do ACC on console, for the boys running on console. Now again, the platform is PlayStation, so whether it be PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. And then on Sunday nights we cater for Gran Turismo Sport, our team versus team entry season, kicking off next week. Again, seeding kicked off this week. I'm giving a shout out to everyone that does sim racing at Logistical Nightmare. Simultaneously to that, all our races on PC is hosted by simracing.gp. You can also find us on gridfinder.com. Again, a place where all sim racers and sim racing communities can be found. So much there out the world. And then of course I'm going to give a short and quick shout out to the other South African sim racing communities, the ones I know of, and again the ones we work off a lot, Simrace SA, and then of course Race Face. So don't be shy to go out and support them as well. Again, final few minutes of the race, I kinda reckon it's gonna be finished with a bang here. Barrington Smith is taking his first victory unless he really stuffs it up in the final 3 corners at Laguna Seca. This is going to be a phenomenal drive by him. Race victory by Barrington Smith. Well done to him. Start to finish race. He is being chased down, of course, in second by Raymond Mooney in his Aston Martin V12. Phenomenal drive by him. Then in the final podium position, Sean Stradom with the Logistical Nightmare Racing car 394 in the BMW. He, of course, is being chased down by Kevin Barber in the Bentley in 4th. Then we have Etienne Kleb in 5th place. Great drive by him in, I would say, the most unique delivery design BMW I've ever seen. Gotta admit, I do love that. It looks absolutely beautiful. Big ups to him for that. Slight fender bender by Nel and Vermeulen there on the final few turns. But this is Etienne Kleb finishing up his round. Dave has finished up already in 6th. 7th was Neil Greening, also in the pits. Paul Venter in 8th. 9th we have Uvelin with the Ferrari. Him and his teammate going side by side there. That is actually good and great action. I'm gonna go and see if I can get some of these boys up here. Fantastic drive. Loved it. Yeah, a bit of spins there. Who is that? Who is doing all that? Oh, McLaren. Great one there. Let me just see if I can get all this done. Timetables up and running from a race position. This is where it has finished off. 1 to all the way through to 31st. A few individuals did not make it through the race. Unfortunate there by them. Probably not the best race for them. I do feel sorry. I hope we get it better or more right next race. Everyone on the stream, I mean, again, thank you for your support. Again, thanks to everyone watching. Loved it. Great race. Catch you all next week. Again, next week is our first season of the GT4 series. Do come and register. It's gonna be epic fun. It's gonna be streamed. We're definitely gonna love it. Tomorrow night we'll kick off with the ACC console side. Again, big ups, big thanks to everyone else. Good night, God bless, and then thank you all.